Tom Clark's Main Event is a Boink Studios production. And now, on with the show.
This is Daddy's show. Step off.
Come on, won't you say it loud? Ayo, we gon' turn this out. Tom Clark's Main Event. Drop kick now.
Hey, what is up, kids? Welcome back to the program. Tom Clark back here with you on December 20th, 2024. We are 5 days out from Christmas Day. This is the Tom Clark's Main Event Holiday Special, and you are welcome to it. Here is my Christmas tree background, and I got the fireplace. Let's warm our hands by the fire. So the video I put out today has got a little dancing snowman, a little dancing gingerbread dude. And if you're watching the video part of this show, then you saw that happen today. Yeah. And look, it's 5 days out. I don't anticipate a very big crowd here today. And we may just go 30 minutes depending on how many people show up. We shall see. You always roll the dice doing a podcast this soon to Christmas, especially if it's live. If it's after the fact, if it's recorded, that's a whole different story in and of itself. But again, if you're just listening to the audio version of this and you don't catch the live version, then it doesn't really matter to you either way. So there you go. But look, I appreciate everyone that's going to hopefully tune in here today. And again, if you're listening to it after the fact, we appreciate your business. Thanks for checking us out as always. I will get the ticker ticking here in short order. And let's see here. There we go. Boom, there it is. And so look, again, it may just be a handful of us here today, but we'll try to enjoy the Yuletide season as much as we can. And by the way, JP, good to see you, my friend. We got one person here anyway. So yeah, look, it is still early. It's 4:00. Again, we're 5 days out from the holiday. So if you're like me, well, I don't know if you're like me or not, because honestly, my shopping's been done. Everything's done. All I got to do now is just have Christmas, and I'll be all good. Yeah. So I got 2 gifts in on Thursday, and after that I was done. And I don't usually push it that late in the game, but look, man, again, Christmas season is crazy. Doing all the shopping and whatnot. I'll be honest with you, man, 9 times out of 10, I'm shopping on Amazon, which I'm not happy about putting a ton of money into the pocket of the billionaire dude, because there's too many billionaire dudes in this country, if you want my honest opinion about it. Because, honestly, how many of those guys are actually giving back to anybody? How many of them are actually just, dodging taxes and trying to run the government and all some such nonsense. But look, man, we don't have to talk about that. We've got pro wrestling to talk about here today. And as I attempt to get my, how's that? Nope, 50, boom. Nope, that's not going to work. There we are. Well, look, if nothing else, you'll have audio to listen to after the fact. And hopefully you will enjoy this. And what I'll do is I'll give you sort of the highlights of the week, and we can talk about that. Yeah. So JP's already commenting on the billionaire comment. But look, man, at the end of the day, the only thing you can do is just try to take care of you and yours. That's all really any of us can do, right? Whatever anyone else is doing around us, we can't really control any of that. That's the issue. Yeah. All you can do is just try to take care of you in your own home. Anyway, we don't have to get too far in the weeds on it. But here's what we're looking at, kids. We are we're 8 days away from World's End. I'm looking forward to that event. I think it's going to be a good show. Looking forward to seeing what happens. And, we will see how it all transpires, as they say. But, yeah, man, look, AEW is catching a lot of grief lately. Not just lately, but really all the time. And look, I get it to a certain degree. If I can be honest with you, I can actually understand it, I guess, because, every company out there should push themselves to be the absolute best they can. Right. And AEW is no different. AEW is no different than WWE or I was going to say Ring of Honor, but of TNA, of GCW, of New Japan Pro Wrestling, whoever the company is, you should always be pressing yourself and pushing yourself to be better than you are today, to be moving forward, to do the best you can, to improve, And again, to just get better, man. And I'll be honest with you, 9 times out of 10, I'm just not. I don't know how often I see with AEW a conscious effort being made to improve the product. And we've talked about that multiple times here on the show. I don't like to bag on anybody. It's not the kind of podcast that I do. I've been a supporter of AEW from day one. I've always watched the product. I've never not watched AEW. And if I ever miss for whatever reason, I go back and catch it on the replay. But there are issues there. And again, it's the Christmas season. We don't spend a ton of time on it. But again, it's just one of those things where it's like, as pro wrestling fans, we want our pro wrestling to be as good as it can be. We want it to be good. And what I mean by good, well, look, not everyone's going to agree on the same thing. That much is obvious. That's always going to be the case, right? But good as in, the storylines need to go somewhere, right? The storylines need to go somewhere. It needs to make sense to a certain degree. While wrestling is subjective, which is a true story, the fact is, beginning, middle, and end, right? You got to have conflict. You got to have high drama. You got to have stakes. There have to be stakes in a pro wrestling storyline. And when there are no stakes, you know what happens? Nobody tends to care about it. And I'm not saying that that's a problem for AEW on every single program, but look, if I can be real with you for just a second, I think it's a problem enough that it has absolutely affected ratings. It's absolutely affected ratings. And I don't think anybody here, live or after the fact, can argue that. If you argue that, I guess you can, but I don't know why in the world you would, because I think it's a valid point. And again, I'm not, it's one of those things where it's like, can you rebound from it? Well, of course you can. You can rebound from anything, right? I mean, plenty of companies have pulled it. I'm not going to say gutter. That's a little too harsh. Plenty of companies have pulled it out and made it work. Yeah, I think it's just a matter of, what have they done? What has AEW done to lead you to believe that they're going to be able to pull it out? I don't know, man. It might be a tall order. It might be a tall order. We finally got some people coming in here. I knew we would. Robbie, good to see you, my friend. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to you, Rebecca. Good to see you. E's here. Season's greetings. There you go. Yeah, I appreciate everybody here. Listen, kids, for those of you who just jumped in, if you will, I always ask the same thing, right? Please and thank you. Go share the show on your Facebook page. Share it on your Twitter, on your Blue Sky, wherever it is you can that will accept the link. Share the show. It means loads to me. And, by the way, I don't know how many of you watching now actually subscribe to the show as an audio podcast, but every time we're done here, it's uploaded as an audio version. And the audio version existed before the video version did. So Tom Clark's Main Event going strong since 2014, celebrating 10 years this year. And that's almost to a close, 11 years next year for the show. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy. JP says, I can't wait for the Raw Netflix show along with World's End. Well, see, there you go. A little bit of everything. And talk about a little bit of everything. Talk about can't wait to watch something. I have really got to get caught up on New Japan. It's embarrassing how far behind I am. Now, in my defense, it is Christmas season. Yeah. And I've been very busy with work. I've been very busy doing my thing to get ready for the holiday season, doing things at home and things like that. So, not an excuse. It's just really, it's just a fact, man. We're all crazy busy right now. And because of that, sometimes things get pushed to the side. And, unfortunately, New Japan for me has been pushed just to the side burner, but I do intend on getting called back up. Yes, for sure. Rey Mysterio Sr. has passed away. Of course, condolences to Rey and his family, his fans, his friends. Let's see. So his real name, Miguel Angel Lopez Diaz. And I don't know what happened in the end. Cause of death has not been announced. Let's be honest with you, it's really none of our business. But health problems supposedly happening with Rey Mysterio Sr. So all the best to the family. Terrible time to lose someone right at the holidays. I can relate to that. It's really terrible. And that'll be something that they'll be unfortunately dealing with for a very, very long time. A very long time. So yeah, all the best to them. We've also got Ring of Honor Final Battle. We can talk about that here today as well. And look, man, there's some stuff going on in pro wrestling right now. It's always, we've been saying this really since AEW came along, but it's a really, really good time to be a pro wrestling fan. Let's be honest, man. It's a really good time to be a pro wrestling fan because there's just so much product out there, so much programming that you can get into, different companies you can get into. If you're not a fan of one company, there's another company out there for you. Chances are you can find a company that you will get into, that you'll enjoy watching. These are good things, man. These are absolutely good things. And, we talked about before on this show, whatever you grew up with, is sort of your version of the best wrestling of all time. I grew up with the territories. I have a very, very big soft spot in my heart for territory wrestling. Always will, I'm sure. But yeah, so people who grew up during the Attitude Era, soft spot for the Attitude Era as kids. Me, not so much. I lived through the Attitude Era as a grown man. Not great stuff. A lot of that Attitude Era stuff, if I can be honest with you. But look, we've said it before that you are tainted to some degree. You are jaded to some degree. You're heavily influenced to some degree by the stuff that you grew up with, right? And that's kind of where we are today. So that's kind of where everybody is. But at the same time, be open-minded. That's all I'm saying. Whenever I hear someone say, I refuse to watch such and such company, I mean, I guess it's fine. No one's twisting your arm, man. You can watch what you want to watch, be a fan of what you want to be a fan of. But to never give a company a chance is kind of odd to me. Kind of odd. Robbie says, I watched New Japan Pro Wrestling Access last night. I don't remember who the two wrestlers were that wrestled, but after the match, one thanked the opponent because he trained him to wrestle. Japanese wrestlers have mad respect for each other. That's true. And some of that is storyline, as you know. I mean, Robbie, you've been a fan for a while. Japan's no different than any other pro wrestling promotion in terms of what do we need to get across in the ring tonight? What is it that needs to happen? If it's like, these two guys don't really have heat, there's no reason for you to slap somebody or jump somebody, then look, just show respect. If that's something you want to do. And I'm not going to say it's lighter over there in terms of what they can and can't do. Not as heavily scripted, I guess you can say. I don't know what we call it over there in Japan. But I suspect that maybe that's the case, but I could be wrong. It could just be that it's one of those things where it's like you said, I trained you, I'm going to shake your hand, that kind of thing. Just show a sign of respect. But you're right, Japanese fans overall, way more respectful. A Japanese crowd is usually fairly quiet during a pro wrestling match. If you've never watched Japanese pro wrestling, kids, let me warn you ahead of time that what you're going to see is, and what you're going to hear is some quiet for a lot of part of it, is that fans, again, are very respectful. They're not very loud at all. You know what I mean? And they will clap. They will applaud. And when heels go to work the crowd, you won't see fans jawing back at them. They'll just kind of laugh and shake their heads, and they'll go like this. And, they play along in as much as if a heel's coming at them, they'll clear out chairs and everything and tell fans to move. But for the most part, you don't see fans acting a full in Japanese crowd. And I appreciate that very much. Sugar Shane's here, going through health issues. Hey, man. Dude, I did that heart monitor stuff. You know when I was in my early 20s. I won't bore you with the story, but Shane, good to see you. I'm glad to hear that you're okay, and hopefully whatever this is going to pass. So yeah, that's great news. Ray All Day's here. The Cole and MJF segment was cool. Do you think the Kingdom will turn on them? Abso-freaking-lutely, because they've got nowhere else to go with this, in my opinion. I think Taven and Bennett have proven themselves to be a couple of smarmy heels in the past, and they've done a pretty good job of getting the fans' trust during all this. But I think you'll see it come to a head tonight during Final Battle. What's up, Davey Squires? Good to see you, my friend. Guys, if you will, hit the like button for me. It's good to see people coming in. I very much appreciate you. Hit the like button for me and share this on your socials. Share it on your Facebook, your Twitter, your Blue Sky, wherever you have social media, man. Go share this on your feeds for me. I would greatly appreciate it. If you have a Facebook page, if you're in a Facebook group, go share the feed. I would very much appreciate it. Let's talk really quickly, if you guys want to, and then we're going to just open the floor up and just have some fun here. Let's talk really quickly about Ring of Honor Final Battle. There's 13 matches happening here. Man, this is going to be intense. All right. Big card. You ready for this? The Infantry, Carly Bravo and Captain Sean Dean with Trish Adora versus the Undisputed Kingdom, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. Tag team match. Harley Cameron versus Hanako in singles match. Or Hanako, and I may be mispronouncing that. Lee J, which is Lee Johnson and EJ Naduka. My apologies again if I butcher that. Versus Gates of Agony with Bishop Khan and Toa Leona. The Dark Order, Alex Reynolds and John Silver versus the Grizzled Young Vets. Grit Your Teeth. Jay Lethal versus QT Marshall. Red Velvet versus Layla Hirsch. Singles match with ROH Women's World TV Championship. Mansoor with Mason Madden versus Atlantis Jr. Not sure why this isn't a tag team match because the MXM collection is freaking fantastic. Freaking fantastic. The Sons of Texas, Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara versus the Righteous Vincent and Dutch. Texas Bull Rope match for the ROH World Tag Team Championship. Can I be honest with you? I kind of feel like the Righteous need to win here. They may not, but I feel like maybe they kind of need to. Katsuyori Shibata versus Tommy Billington. Be good to see Tommy back in the ring. Lee Moriarty versus, to be announced, Pure Wrestling Rules match with ROH Pure Championship. Brian Cage versus Willie Mack versus Mark Davis versus AR Fox versus Blake Christian versus Commander. Survival of the Fittest match with ROH World TV Championship. That should be a great freaking match. Chris Jericho versus Matt Cardona for the ROH World Championship. Hopefully a good match. And Athena defending the ROH Women's World Championship against Billy Starks. I don't know if this is Starks' time or not, but that should also be a really, really good match. I'm looking forward to the card. I think it's going to be really good. Don't know if I'm going to watch it live. It is December 20th after all, kids. So we shall see. My lighting, I'm still having a problem here, kids, so my apologies for that. I feel like every time you see me, it looks like I'm walking through a haze or something. Very, very odd. But yeah, are you guys looking forward to Ring of Honor? Are you going to watch? You're going to watch it live after the fact? The boy's doing good, Ray. Thank you so much for asking. Is he off today? I think he's off today. He's off today. He works tomorrow, pretty sure. He's working on Christmas Eve. Be the first time that my son has not been home on Christmas Eve. Yeah, buddy. It's going to be different. He only has to work till 5 o'clock, which is good, right? Very good. So, yeah, we'll see. Well, look, we don't have to we can talk about stuff that's happening. I did say we're going to talk about the news of the day. Whatever's going on here. We went down the card of Final Battle. If you guys want to talk about it, we can do that. What are you looking forward to the most? It's time for Jericho to lose that championship. I'd love to see Cardona win it. I don't know what kind of sense it makes, what kind of deal they've worked out with him. I'd love to see him win it, to be honest with you, because I think it's time. It was time before Jericho won it again. I didn't want Jericho to win it this past time. No disrespect to Chris Jericho, but look, I think we can all kind of agree that it's time to move on from Chris Jericho. Okay. And I know that's kind of, dogging the guy out or whatnot, but look, it's just tough, man. It's very, very tough. So yeah, because again, that shtick, that gimmick, boy, it's tough, man. It's tough to watch. Before we go any farther, kids, I want you to do me a favor, if you will, please and thank you. Watch this.
Boink Studios is the home of Tom Clark's Main Event, Tom Clark's 6M podcast, and Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. Visit the site today for links to every podcast platform, social media, special announcements, and a lot more. Check out the site and bookmark today, boinkstudios.com.
All right, how's that? Is that any better? I tried to adjust my lighting. boinkstudios.com. It will be updated. It's a couple of days behind. But just bear with us here, kids. We will get it done in short order. And if you guys haven't checked out the website yet, I'm always open to feedback. And hopefully you guys find it easy to navigate. I don't like to make anything too awful difficult, anything like that. So hopefully you will enjoy it and go check it out. Well, kids, we're just going to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. It's the Christmas holiday special, and we can get into it here. Whatever you guys want to talk about, let's just open the floor. Let's just, if I can get to where I need to be, here we go. All right. There we go. Do me a favor. Watch this too.
Tom Clark's 6M podcast focuses on movies, music, Marvel, magazines, miniseries, and more. Catch new episodes every week, available on boinkstudios.com and wherever you get your podcasts.
There we go. My apologies. All right. Kids, let's again, we can just open the floor up here and talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. We may not go the full hour today. I got tons to do after we get off the feed. So yeah, and plus I'm dealing with this right now. So again, my apologies for it being all funky. But yeah, by the way, for the 6M podcast, if you're not tuning in, it's always a fun time. We just did our official Christmas episode this past Tuesday. We did a live watch along with Die Hard. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that. That will be up. It will be coming out this Tuesday, video and audio version as well. So yeah, I hope you go check that out. We've already put out Batman Returns and Scrooged. It's a holiday month on the 6M, baby. Shane said, don't know what's going on with Ric Flair. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, look, he backpedaled, right? Talking about, I think people got it mixed up. I'm not talking about my ex-wife. I'm thinking you were absolutely talking about your ex-wife because the post said her. It didn't say he, if I'm not mistaken, Shane, right? So like, I don't know what he's talking about, but yeah, that's kind of what it feels like. Is that the whole thing? He just started backpedaling because he got called out. Look, Rick is Rick, and Rick's going to be Rick, and Ric Flair's going to do Ric Flair stuff. We kind of all know what he's been like in the past 10 years on socials, and the whole plane ride from hell stuff that all the gory details came out about that. We don't have to get into it, but look, at the end of the day, dude, Rick's just going to be Rick. And you're either still a fan or you're having a hard time with it. I don't know. It's weird though, isn't it? Very weird. Let's see. Ray says, "Am I cool with the Punk versus Rollins feud?" I think it's getting over. I think it'll be fine. They have pretty good chemistry together. We'll see how the match goes. I think everything's going to be good. So yeah, why not? Ray also, Sandy from Germany's here. What's up, Sandy? Ray also hitting us with Chub Rock or Cool Mo D. I'll go Cool Mo D. Cool. Why try it again? Cool Mo D. And Eric B and Rakim are nice and smooth. I'll go Eric B and Rakim. And if Adam Cole invited you to the Grand Opening at Adam Cole Christmas Coffee Shop, where you can get any type of coffee you want, any flavor, what would you get? I'm a sucker for peppermint coffee with it being Christmas. And if you said your friend could come and enjoy one too, would you please call me for sure? Later, one to grab dinner, which included a juicy steak, some yummy fries, and a slice of sweet potato pie. Can I join as well? Absolutely. Robbie says the Viking Raiders finally won titles. Is it well-deserved or too little too late? I'm torn. I'm happy for them. But then I'm like, why couldn't they have done this soon to give them a push in WWE? Here's what I'll tell you, Robbie. It's never too late. It's only too late when the guys have been released, when they've moved on to another company, and that has not happened. So it's never too late, right? That's what I'll tell you. Should it have happened earlier? Sure. Sure. Why not? But at the same time, is it too late? No, it's never too late. Not too late unless they've been released. That'll be my quick answer to that. Yeah. I love those guys. I do. I think they're solid. I love them as War Machine. I hated the name changes. We talked about that here last week on the show. Couldn't stand it. But yeah, never too late. It's never too late in pro wrestling, dude. You can always make a comeback. It's just like the matches. Babyface makes a comeback, right? Sandy says, I love your background. Thanks, man. Hey, look, you guys that are here, do me a favor. Everybody throw in the chat, what are you doing for Christmas next week? You don't have to get personal if you don't want to. But are you staying at home? Are you traveling? Are you maybe in the air next week or this weekend? Good luck to you if you're traveling like that, man. Are you driving? You got a road trip coming up? What's happening for you? You guys let me know. I'd like to know. I'm curious. In the meantime, it is Christmas. Hey, how about this?
Ho, ho, ho!
You guys remember that? I had that thing up for years.
Ho, ho, ho!
Santa doing the devil horns. Hey, man, right? That's how we roll here on the show. Sandy says he's at home. Sandy, do you have family anywhere but Germany? You don't have to answer if you don't want to. I always like to ask people in other countries where their families are. Is everyone in Germany or is there anyone anywhere else? I'm always curious about that. What family that I know, what family that I still have any sort of contact with, and it's not a whole lot, to be honest with you, everybody's in North Carolina, to my knowledge. I don't think anybody's anywhere else. I don't have a big family, dude. There's a lot of, as most families do, there's stuff there. We don't have to get into it, okay? But, there's stuff there. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it is what it is. Like I said, I won't get into it. I don't want to bore anybody with my drama. Sandy has family in Canada. Nice. Never been to Canada. Here it's cold, and because of that, I'm out. I'm out because I don't do cold. I do not do cold weather. Shane says family dinner at home, and the day after Christmas, I get to remove the heart monitor. Looking forward to that. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Rebecca says early Xmas this weekend, immediate family, then to in-laws on Xmas Day. We're doing something at my mom's tomorrow, and then we're home on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day with nowhere else to go. I think her mom is coming over on Christmas Eve. So, how excited am I for January? E, stop. Stop, E. Please. We're not doing that. We're not doing it. Here's something good that was said recently. WWE star Drew McIntyre is happy to see so many of his friends making a full-time living in professional wrestling. During a social media Q&A with fans on Thursday, McIntyre was asked to give his thoughts on the current AEW product. McIntyre was in character for much of the session, but he said he's happy to watch all wrestling and is glad to see how much the industry outside WWE has grown. Fantastic. He says, I'm happy to watch all wrestling, especially when I'm off. There's a chance for me to catch up on everything. Yeah, using social media as I still do to this day as a top level. At a top level, it's been going since 2014 to rebrand myself, yada, yada, yada. But that's good, and he's got a point. Look, man, at the end of the day, as we've always said here on the show, you can like what you want to like, you can hate what you want to hate. It doesn't really matter. But as pro wrestling fans, we just want all pro wrestling companies to succeed because we want pro wrestling to outlive us. We want it to get better. We always want it to improve. We always want our pro wrestling shows to be as entertaining as they can be, right? But we also want, very, very much want pro wrestling to be here in the future. NBA is not going to go anywhere. NFL is not going to go anywhere. NHL is not going anywhere, okay? Is WWE going to go somewhere? We don't think so. Is it possible? Yeah. You know what I mean? Is AEW going somewhere? I think they're going to be fine. Do we know that for sure? No. You see where I'm coming from? There's just billions and billions of dollars tied up in professional sports. I mean, not that there's not in WWE, right? But again, at the same time, like it's not the same thing. Like you can live without pro wrestling company in a town, but when a franchise, when a professional franchise leaves a city, talk to me about the impact it had on the city and the state, on the local economy. How many people it put out of work when that franchise left? You know what I mean? How much revenue was taken out of that city and that state when the franchise left? That's what it means. It's a boost to the local economy. It's a boost to the state economy. It's good for tourism. It's good for a lot of other things. Professional sports teams are. It can also be a headache depending on where an arena is built, right? I get it, traffic and whatnot. But at the same time, man, think about it. Like if pro wrestling goes out of business, who loses sleep over it besides the fans? That's really it. You know what I mean? Davey says, I'm family. Hey, I appreciate you, man. Shane says, what do you think will happen to Raw if Netflix crashes? It'll crash with it. It'll just crash. And that's the problem, Shane, as you know, with doing a deal with any streamer. AEW with Max, same deal. If that streamer crashes, you don't get to watch the show that night. And AEW programming has had a lot of problems on pay-per-view already, so don't even get me started. But that's kind of my very quick answer to that, is that if the platform crashes, you're in trouble. You're not going to be able to watch wrestling that night. And I know it sucks, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? So that's my answer. Thank you, Sandy. Says he liked on YouTube. Kids, my apologies for all this. My eyes have been effed up for a while now, if I'm being very transparent with you. So light sensitivity is crazy right now at the moment. And because of that, my screen is digitized because I can't turn that ring light back on. It's freaking nuts. Again, I'm just being honest with you. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Christmas, man. As you guys know, I'm a Christmas fiend. My tree goes up every year on November 1st. I just love it. It's my time of year. And I've tried very, very much to be into it this year, and I still am, but I've had a lot of things going on outside of the holiday, and it's made it challenging, more so than ever before, to thoroughly enjoy this time of year. And usually for me, it's easy to get into it, but it's been challenging this year more than it has been in a while. So look, I'm not the only one that goes through things. I'm not trying to make it sound as though I am. It is what it is. But yeah, it's going to be fun. It's always good. Everything always comes out in the end, don't you think? But yeah, I'm looking forward to Final Battle tonight. I'm looking forward to World's End next week. Sandy says, "Love your Santa beard." My God, Sandy, look at you. I do what I can to keep it dark, but I do have some gray coming in. Yeah, I meant to get it trimmed before this week happened, before I was back on camera. But you know what? I didn't get around to it. I've had my head stuck in a computer for days, weeks, months, and years at this point. Busy, busy, busy. So, yeah. Well, let's see what else is going on here, kids. Let's see. Chris Jericho explains what Matt Cardona reminds him of Bret Hart. I'm assuming that was said out of character. Continental Classic. You guys will talk about the Continental Classic. You know how many times I called the Cruiserweight Classic on the last show? That's freaking embarrassing. I went through and I'm like, what have I done? Here are the latest standings. In the Blue League, at the top of the leaders board is Kyle Fletcher with 9 points, followed by Kazuchika Okada at 7, Mark Briscoe, them boys, at 6, Shelton Benjamin at 6, Daniel Garcia at 4, the Beast Mortos at 0. In the Gold League, Will Ospreay, Ricochet, and Claudio and Darby are all tied a four-way tie for 6 points. I'll get it. Brody King with 3 points. Commander with 0 points. The Beast Mortos, man. Did you hear that pop he got this past Wednesday? That guy's over. Jeez. Gene, are you back? Gene? Are you back from your cruise? Everybody say hello to Gene. Mean Gene. Me and Gene enjoying the Caribbean last week. David down under, what's going on? Hope you and the family are doing well. I hope you and the family have a great Christmas as well, Dave. I appreciate it very much. By the way, kids, 1 like away. Let's get us to 10 here, if you will. Let's get those likes up to 10. That'd mean loads to me. Gene says, still in the middle of the ocean. Gene is on the cruise in the Caribbean. Gene, I appreciate you watching my show, but go have fun, Gene. Don't be worrying about this old dude in North Carolina, man, with the Santa hat on and his red face going ho, ho, ho. Go have some fun, man. Jean messaged me last week telling me she's sorry she missed the show, but she is watching a replay in the ocean. Tom going, I'm telling you, man, main event on the land, sea, and in the air where you can catch this show, baby. I'm just saying. Gene, I appreciate you very much. Sandy in Germany says, who do you want to win the women's IC title? I mean, I would think it's it is a match. Yes. Apologies for being ignorant on this. Because didn't we say last week it was Chelsea Green? It's not a tournament, in other words, right? You guys know I don't follow WWE full time. It's nothing against it. I just don't have a lot of time to watch. Rebecca says, why do you think cruiserweight division does better in some companies and is a hot mess or non? And in some companies is a hot mess or non-existent? Rebecca, my very, very, very long answer summed up in a couple of lines, if I can do that, is pretty simple. And it's this. Cruiserweights pop the crowd. Anytime I was involved in pro wrestling, booking pro wrestling cards, we always had the lightweight guys come out and work the first match because you want your first match to set the tone. You want to pop the card. You want to pop the night. You don't want to start out with a talking segment that lasts 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, right? You want to pop the crowd, set the tone, high impact, high flying, fast paced, get them amped up. That's how you want to start your show. So because of that, cruiserweights are almost always going to get over. Okay. Where it comes into play, in my opinion, anyway, and it's not as bad as it used to be, but where it comes into play is when you book cruiserweights to the point that they're getting red hot, sometimes even white hot. At some point, the fans are going to start screaming about this guy should have a title. And if you don't have a cruiserweight championship, that's a problem. So what do? You push them to secondary championships. You push them to tag team titles. You push them to trios championships. All well and good. But if that cruiserweight is still catching fire and people really, really, really still want to see him, then it becomes, well, how come he can't be heavyweight champion? Some bookers don't want to do it. It's a thing about, here's my world's heavyweight champion. He weighs 150 pounds. How's he a heavyweight? How do you define heavyweight? You see what I'm saying? That is my very, very, very quick answer to a very long question. But that's my honest assessment, Rebecca, is that I think a lot of it is psychological. I think a lot of it is mental. I think a lot of it is the perception, in other words, of what cruiserweight pro wrestling is. And it's quick hits, it's high flying, it's bouncing off the ropes, it's going over the top rope. But to be honest, that style has gotten over where heavyweights are doing it all the time. Will Ospreay's no cruiserweight, not anymore. And he still works like that style. You see what I'm saying? Again, not as bad as it used to be, where super heavyweights and heavyweights dominate everything. Cruiserweights are getting the fair shake in many, many companies, including WWE. But are we ever going to see a guy Rey Mysterio's size be WWE champion again? Let's be honest with ourselves and ask that question. I know what your answer is. Their answer is, well, Tom, it depends on who it is. I suppose so. But it was also a different time then too, right? Different time. Robbie says Santa Claus, the Grinch, and the Abominable Snowman in a triple threat steel cage match. Who wins and how? Never count out the Grinch. The Grinch's heart grew 3 times its size that day. And he lifted the sleigh over his head with the dog attached. That's some strength right there. But Santa Claus had got that Christmas magic. And if you're talking about the Abominable Snowman, you're talking about the Bumble from Rudolph. He's a good guy now, too. He's a good guy now, too. So, yeah, there we have it. By the way, favorite Christmas movies. What are you guys watching this weekend? What have you watched so far? We always save It's a Wonderful Life to Christmas Day in my house. It's always a Christmas Day movie. Love that movie. Cry every year when I watch it. I'm a softie, man. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm an old softie. That's what I am. I love It's a Wonderful Life. It's fantastic. Fantastic. Love watching that movie. We watched everything this year. Fred Claus I've watched multiple times. We always watch Ernest Saves Christmas. We watched every brand new Hallmark Christmas movie they released this year and some of the older ones too, because it's just something that we do. It's a habit. We have watched the first Home Alone. I don't do Home Alone 2. So see what else. Gosh, we've done the classics. We've done Elf, of course. I always do Elf the day the tree goes up, and then I watch it later out throughout the next 2 months as well. So we've done that one. Let's see what else. A Christmas Carol, starring George C. Scott, is fantastic. My favorite version of Scrooge. Followed by Christopher Plummer and The Man Who Invented Christmas. Fantastic movie. Freaking great. Go see it. Watch it. It's great. I love it. The Muppet Christmas Carol, haven't watched it yet. Great movie. Classic. You know what I mean? I enjoy Scrooge, of course. We've done that one on the 6M podcast. We've done Batman Returns. Iron Man 3 is a Christmas movie. Sorry. Die Hard's a Christmas movie as well. Yes, it is. You're wrong. You know what the truth is? You know what a Christmas movie is? Whatever you want it to be. Whatever makes you happy. And yes, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Sugar Shane says, love watching the Gunsmoke Xmas episodes. That's a great pull. I like going back in old TV shows and pulling. I say old. I was going to mention Friends, but like we'll go back and watch the Christmas episodes from Friends. That's fun times too. That's fun times too, for sure. Gene, you're sweet. I appreciate you very much. Very much. David says, Die Hard. Die Hard, my favorite, and then Elf. There you go. Yeah, Die Hard's a great movie. Great movie. We did the watch along. You guys are going to love that watch along on the 6M. It was all video and audio version. They'll both be released on Christmas Eve, baby, on Tuesday. It's myself, Troy Grant from the Untitled Wrestling Podcast, and also Joe Higgins from Blank Vacant, because it's a curse word, and Hallmark of Greatness. And we also have Chris Pat from the Patton Report, and of course the great Phil Lindsay from Grapsody and Tom Clark's 6M Podcast, all on the Christmas episode of the 6M coming your way Tuesday. Please don't miss it. We put a lot of work on these shows, man. And sometimes we look like this, which again, it sucks. My apologies. But sometimes it just happens, right? But we soldier on. We move forward. We press forward. So yeah, I appreciate that 10th like, kids. Whoever did that, I appreciate you. Hey, look, man, I'm just glad we got some folks in today. I honestly thought with it being 5 days before Christmas that everybody was going to be crazy busy and wouldn't be around. So I appreciate everybody that's shown up so far. I've got some work to do today before I call it a day and head home. I have no plans working Tuesday or Wednesday. So I'm going to work tomorrow or today. Got Christmas with the family tomorrow at my mom's. Then I'm going to work Sunday and Monday, and that'll be it. And then I'm back on the clock on Thursday. So yeah. Hopefully everybody has good time off, quality time off with their families. Robbie says Christmas Story, Christmas Vacation. Oh, of course, Christmas Vacation. We did that. Miracle on 34th Street. Which version of Miracle on 34th Street? Because that's important. There's a couple of good versions, but we watch the 1947 version. Fantastic. Black and white. Freaking fantastic. Love that freaking movie. Directed by George Seaton, starring Maureen O'Hara, John Payne, Edmund Gwynn. Great freaking Santa Claus, dude. I'm telling you. Gene Lockhart, Natalie Wood, and let's see, William Frawley. You know who that is. Fred Mertz. I Love Lucy, right? Great movie. Great movie. I love the original. So good. So good. I don't do Christmas Story. Believe it or not, it's not for me. I've never been a fan. I didn't grow up with it. I don't watch it now. I grew up with Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown. I love that one. I love, Great Pumpkin. I love the Thanksgiving of Charlie Brown. That's what I grew up with. I didn't grow up with Christmas Story, so it's really not for me. I don't get it. I've never understood it. In terms of I don't personally get what the appeal is, but I also didn't grow up with it, to be fair. Shane says no Christmas sweater. I don't do sweaters, man. I've never worn sweaters. Put you this way, I've only ever actually owned a couple in my life, and I didn't like them. They're just not me. I'm more of a zip hoodie guy. That's all I ever wear in the wintertime. Unless it's crazy, crazy cold and I wear a heavy coat. Most time it's zip hoodie in the fall and the winter both. I just am not a fan of sweaters. I just don't like how they feel on me. Ugh, don't like how they feel. Apologies for the digitization of the screen here today, kids. I know it sucks. I thought about going with an actual background behind me and knocking off the ring lighting and all this other stuff, and just putting a real live background behind. But I have to come up with something really good. But I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do that. I'm thinking about it. We'll see. I may experiment with a couple of things. So yeah, we'll see. Kids, we're 47 minutes in. I can't believe we've made it this far, considering all of my hot mess today. But yeah, I don't want the day to get away or the episode to get away from us before I flat out tell you how much I appreciate you guys hanging out with me all the time when you could be off doing something else. You could have been anywhere else, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. So yeah, you guys are the best. I still thoroughly enjoy doing this show. I enjoy doing all my podcasts. I'm having a very surreal moment right now, so my apologies. I enjoy doing all my podcasts, but this one is always going to have a special place right here because it's my first. And the main event, you know, it's not much. It doesn't look like much half the time. And the main event's not a very creative name for a show, but it's mine. No one's taking it away from me. So I appreciate it. Gene says, really sorry, everybody, but the internet keeps cutting out big time in the middle of the ocean. So probably again, the last thing I could say is happy holidays to everybody. Happy and safe one. It'll be after Christmas next time we talk if you guys still are there. But happy, safe. Love y'all. Thanks for giving me some great information. Gene, you're the best. Go get to your cruise. Enjoy your family. Enjoy that hot weather, man. Please. And thank you so much for hanging out. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to you, Gene. Keith, what's up, my friend? Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you, sir. Thank you very much for hanging out. 8 minutes to the top of the hour, kids. Any more Christmas things you guys want to share? What's your favorite Christmas song? Is there a Christmas TV show that you enjoy? You know, what's your favorite Christmas food? Rebecca, you're the best. Thank you. Thank you for that. I do what I can. I'm nowhere near as informational as a lot of podcasts out there, but hopefully I'm better in terms of just being open and honest and treating people with respect and, you know, trying to call things down the middle and not being too shouty over anything weird. Just not for me. You guys know how I roll. I try to be very even keeled on the show. Really, on every podcast I have, I try to be even keeled because I think it's important to be respectful of your time, and I don't want to waste your time. And everyone that chooses to hit the play button or subscribe button, you're telling me I'm going to spend time listening to you or watching you, and I don't want to give you crap. I don't want to shovel crap on your plate and tell you to enjoy. So you may not walk away thinking it's the best thing you ever saw, but hopefully you never walk away thinking that was a waste of time. I like to be somewhere in the middle. I'll give you my best effort every time. That's really all I can do. You know what I mean? Really all I can do. Well, kids, we are very, very close to the 1 hour mark. We are 50 minutes in, and once the final edit is here and uploaded, it'll be probably about 51, 52 minutes. Very, very close to an hour. Look, you guys need to go. Sam needs to get some rest, I'm sure, because in Germany it's late. But you guys go start your weekend, man. Start your Christmas weekend. And do me a favor out there, folks. Have a happy, healthy, and safe holiday season. And I appreciate you very much, of course. Robbie says, I can't speak for the rest of the group, but if I wasn't here, I'd be watching TV. You make Friday even better. And unlike other podcasts, you do it simply for the fans. Hey, man, you're awesome. I appreciate you. Sam says, I'm always looking forward to Friday with Tom Clark. I'm sad when it doesn't happen either. When I took that break, that thing sucked because I didn't have a Christmas episode last year. It sucked. I was not happy with myself, but I just wasn't in a good spot to do the show. You know what I mean? I can either rush and break my neck and give you subpar quality, or I can do it right and deliver the kind of stuff that I'd want to see and the kind of stuff that I want to listen to. And that's what I always try to do with my shows. I mean, people talk about, I don't listen to my own podcast, then you're doing it wrong. In my opinion, you need to know how you sound. You need to not only know how you sound, but what do your opinions sound like? Are you connecting? Did you sound, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's important. How did the banter go? I don't know. And I'm not saying it for any other reason, just because I just want to get better. You know, I always just want to get better. Dave says, Little Drummer Boy is his favorite Christmas song. I have never been into that song. I'm not trying to be grinchy. I've never cared for that song. And what was the one the Beach Boys did? The Santa. Dun, 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 dun. You know, what's the song? Saint Nick, Little Saint Nick. Hate that song. Freaking hate that song. And Paul McCartney's It's a Wonderful Christmas Time. Hate that song with a blind rage of passion. Passionate rage. I don't know. And I'm a Beatles guy. Y'all know that. I'm a Paul McCartney guy. I hate that freaking song. I'm not going to lie. I just cannot stand it. And I know it's Christmas music, and I know both those songs are like well loved, and a lot of people really dig them and get into them. They're not for me, man. My Christmas music set playlist does not include. I listen to a lot of Frank Sinatra, and I listen to a lot of Tony Curtis, and I listen to Dean Martin. I like the classics. I like some jazzy Christmas music too. I do listen to some modern Christmas music. I love the Run DMC Christmas songs, of course. There's some others here and there, but I don't do it. Rocking Around a Christmas Tree by Peggy Lee. Great original, great old time song. Redone several times, of course, but yeah, classic. I love the Chuck Berry Run Run Rudolph, right? Great stuff. Great stuff. Dave says he watches the replay but doesn't watch it live. Thank you, man. Shane said, do you have all your Christmas gifts? Oh, yeah, dude, everything's done. I wrapped my last 2 yesterday. And usually I'm never 5 days out from finishing up wrapping, but it's just been one of those months, dude. I've just been busy every freaking day, man. Every day. Everything's ready to go. I hope you guys are having a great holiday, man, or holiday season. I'll be sad to see it end. I'm always sad. Everyone that tells me, anyone that knows me can tell you, on December 26th, I have seriously got the blues. It'll happen next week too. I mean, I hope not. But I usually get the blues the day after Christmas because I'm just sad it's over. I'm not kidding, man. It's crazy. You'd think like, it's one day. Who cares, right? Dude, I'm always sad to see it go. No, it's no lie, no joke. Rebecca said, try retail work and hearing Susie Snowflake repeat every day. I did retail work for 31 years. I know exactly what you're talking about. Same crap every single day. And hateful people, rude people, you do everything in your power to help an entire town get ready for their holiday. And you have one day with your family at home to enjoy your holiday. That's retail. That's every level of retail with very few exceptions. You spend 2 months helping everybody else get ready for their holiday in your town. And then you get one day with your family if you're lucky, and then you're back to work. But I knew what I signed up for. Everyone working in retail knows what they signed up for. If they don't know, they find out. And that's the nature of the beast in retail. Every time the doors close, you lose money. And that's how they look at it. I don't agree with that way of doing things. But until big companies decide we're not going to stay open on Christmas anymore, Christmas Eve, whatever, Thanksgiving, they're all gonna stay up and they're all gonna be there to make that money. Sandy in Germany, good night, my friend. Sandy, how do you say Merry Christmas in German? I could look it up, but I got you here unless you're gone. I don't know how you say it. He might be gone. Good question. You notice how we didn't talk about wrestling all that much here today? It's a holiday special. Okay. Froy Vanachten. How bad did I butcher it? Froy Vanachten. I'm sure I don't need to pronounce the C. I'm sure I butchered it. My apologies, Sandy. Yeah. Anyway, that's how we end, is Tom butchering another language. Was it not bad? Oh, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself. Yeah. Well, 8 out of 10. I'll take it. I'll take 8 out of 10, man. 8 out of 10 is better than 5 out of 10 or nothing out of 10. I'll take that all day. All right, kids, I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta get some rest, man. I'm wiped out. I got Siri talking to me on my watch for some weird reason because it always does that. I'm gonna go start my weekend, kids. I hope you you all need to go do the same. Look, do me a favor. Have the best Christmas of all time. And we will be back before the new year hits, of course. So we'll talk about New Year's next week. Have a great Christmas. Enjoy your time with your families, whatever you call it. If you don't celebrate Christmas, happy holidays too. If you don't celebrate anything at all, just have a good week next week. Be happy, healthy, and safe. I appreciate you guys very much. You make all this worth it. You always do. And yeah, man, again, I couldn't be happier with you guys. You guys are the best of all time. And again, it means loads to me that you always tune in and support the show. So again, have a great week next week. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you guys celebrate. Again, go have a great one. Have a safe one. Be careful out there, yeah? And take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. And we will see you in a week. I appreciate you very much, kids. Have a great holiday. See you next week.